When I was on campaign with the Roman legions, I witnessed many external disturbances. The howling winds and freezing cold of the Germanic frontier, the endless logistical challenges, and the constant threat of enemy attacks were our daily reality. Yet I observed that it was not these external conditions that broke a man's spirit, but his perception of them. Marcus Aurelius. Aulus, a once trusted advisor of Marcus Aurelius, conspired against him, betrayed his trust. How does a normal person react to this scenario? This betrayal would have filled one with bitterness and mistrust. A normal person would try to take revenge, or maybe if he or she had power, could even execute them. However, the prime Stoic figure, the Marcus Aurelius, chose to see it as a lesson in the fallibility of human nature, and an opportunity to exercise forgiveness to the ones who are weak mentally. To act as though nothing disturbs you is not to deny the existence of these disturbances, but to change your relationship with them. You must see them for what they are, fleeting and often beyond your control. These disturbances are unavoidable facets of life, yet it is within our power to determine how they affect us. The pain you feel today will fade just as joy does. The Stoic maxim, "This too shall pass," is a powerful reminder that all disturbances are transient. The pressures of ruling an empire could easily lead to overwhelming stress and anxiety to Marcus. Instead, he saw my position as a calling to serve the greater good. Each decision, each challenge was an opportunity to act justly, wisely, and with compassion. By focusing on the virtues he could practice, rather than the burdens he bore, he maintained my inner peace. Reflect on the changing of the seasons. Winter's cold grip may seem interminable, but inevitably it gives way to the warmth of spring. Similarly, personal troubles and external adversities will eventually pass. By internalizing this truth, you can reduce the intensity of your emotional reactions to disturbances. To master the art of acting as though nothing disturbs you, practice the discipline of reframing your thoughts. When faced with a disturbance, pause and examine your initial reaction. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is not, release it. If it is, consider how you can respond virtuously. In moments of frustration or anger, remind yourself that these emotions stem from your perceptions. Shift your focus to what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. This practice will gradually transform your relationship with disturbances, enabling you to maintain serenity amidst the storms of life. The death of his beloved wife Faustina, wife of Marcus Aurelius, was a disturbance. The sorrow was deep, yet he found solace in remembering the impermanent nature of life and in cherishing the memories of our time together. By accepting her passing as a part of the natural order, he could honor her memory without being consumed by grief. Understanding disturbance is the first step towards mastering it. Recognize that disturbances are a natural and inevitable part of life. Embrace their ephemeral nature and harness the power of perception to reframe your experiences. By doing so, you will act as though nothing disturbs you, not because disturbances do not exist, but because you have learned to transcend them. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, and it is within your grasp. To master the art of undisturbed existence, you must distinguish between what lies within your control and what does not. Within our control are our own actions, judgments, thoughts, and desires. Beyond our control are the actions of others, external events, and the outcomes of our efforts. Marcus Aurelius says, "During my reign as emperor, Rome faced numerous crises, plagues, wars, and economic hardships. These events were largely beyond my direct control. I could not prevent the plague from spreading or stop enemies from attacking. However, I could control my response to these crises. I focused on organizing relief efforts, strengthening defenses, and ensuring the welfare of my people. By concentrating on what I could do, rather than lamenting what I could not change, I maintained my composure and effectiveness as a leader." Betrayal and treachery were constant threats in the political arena of Rome. Senators and generals often acted out of self-interest, undermining stability and trust. The actions and motives of others were beyond my control. I could not change their hearts or prevent their schemes. However, I could control my own integrity, patience, and judgment. By adhering to my principles and responding with measured actions, I navigated the treacherous waters of politics without losing my moral compass. Reflect on the daily frustrations you experience. Perhaps you are stuck in traffic, delayed by a late train, or thwarted by bad weather. These are all external events beyond your control. Attempting to control them is futile and leads to unnecessary stress. Instead, focus on what you can control: your reaction to these events. Use the time in traffic to listen to an enlightening audiobook, practice patience, or engage in reflective thought. By shifting your focus, you transform a source of frustration into an opportunity for growth. One of the greatest sources of disturbance is the illusion of control. We often believe that we can control more than we actually can. This illusion leads to frustration, anxiety, and disappointment when reality does not align with our expectations. By recognizing the limits of our control, we free ourselves from this illusion and its attendant distress. Despite being emperor, I could not dictate the course of nature, the behavior of others, or the outcomes of my decisions. By accepting these limitations, I freed myself from the tyranny of unrealistic expectations. This acceptance enabled me to focus on what I could influence and to act with clarity and purpose. Accepting what you cannot change does not mean resigning yourself to passivity. Rather, it is an active acknowledgement of reality. Acceptance allows you to conserve your energy for what truly matters: your own actions and responses. If you face criticism at work, recognize that you cannot control others' opinions. What you can control is your response, whether you choose to react defensively or to consider the feedback constructively. By focusing on your response, you maintain your inner peace and turn a potential disturbance into a chance for self-improvement. Begin each day by reflecting on your tasks and identifying what is within your control. When disturbances arise, pause and ask yourself whether they fall within your sphere of influence. If they do, take deliberate action. If they do not, practice acceptance and let go of the desire to control the uncontrollable. Focus on what you can control: your actions, thoughts, and responses. Accept what you cannot control: the actions of others, external events, and outcomes. Through this practice, disturbances lose their power over you, and you cultivate a resilient, serene mind. This is the path to true freedom and tranquility. The power of perception. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Our minds have the power to interpret and give meaning to events. By changing our perception, we can alter our emotional responses and maintain our inner peace. Consider the common irritations we all face: delays, misunderstandings, and minor inconveniences. By perceiving these as opportunities to practice patience and equanimity, they lose their power to disturb. When a messenger arrived late or a meeting was disrupted, I reminded myself that these were trivial matters in the grand scheme of things. This perspective helped me maintain a sense of calm and focus. One of the most painful disturbances I faced was the betrayal by Avidius Cassius, a trusted general who declared himself emperor. Such treachery could have filled me with rage and a desire for revenge. Instead, I chose to perceive it as a test of my own integrity and magnanimity. I refrained from seeking vengeance, demonstrating clemency and understanding. By altering my perception, I turned a potential source of bitterness into an opportunity to exemplify Stoic virtues. Marcus says, "One of the most painful disturbances I faced was the betrayal by Avidius Cassius, a trusted general who declared himself emperor. Such treachery could have filled me with rage and a desire for revenge. Instead, I chose to perceive it as a test of my own integrity and magnanimity. I refrained from seeking vengeance, demonstrating clemency and understanding. By altering my perception, I turned a potential source of bitterness into an opportunity to exemplify Stoic virtues." If you receive harsh criticism, your initial reaction might be defensiveness or anger. Instead, reframe your perception. View the criticism as valuable feedback that can help you grow. This shift in perspective transforms a potential disturbance into a learning opportunity. Keep a journal where you record disturbances and your reactions to them. Reflect on how your perceptions influenced your responses. Identify patterns and practice reframing your thoughts. Over time, this practice will help you develop a more resilient and constructive mindset. Engage in regular mindfulness meditation to cultivate awareness of your thoughts and perceptions. By observing your mental processes without judgment, you can gain greater control over your reactions and learn to shift your perception more effectively. Practice cognitive reframing by consciously changing the way you think about disturbances. For instance, when facing a difficult situation, ask yourself what positive outcomes or lessons could arise from it. This technique helps you maintain a balanced and optimistic perspective. Develop a habit of gratitude by regularly reflecting on the positive aspects of your life. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you can shift your perception from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. This practice reduces the impact of disturbances and enhances your overall sense of well-being. Our perceptions are closely linked to our values and virtues. By cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we can shape our perceptions in a way that aligns with our higher principles. When faced with a disturbance, ask yourself how a wise or just person would perceive and respond to the situation. This alignment with virtue helps to elevate our perceptions and guide our actions. For example, in times of adversity, courage can help us perceive challenges as opportunities for growth. Wisdom enables us to see beyond immediate discomfort to the broader context. Justice reminds us to consider the perspectives and needs of others, fostering empathy and understanding. Temperance helps us maintain balance and self-control, preventing overreactions to disturbances. Practice reframing your thoughts. Engage in reflective journaling, mindfulness meditation, and gratitude practice. Cultivate virtues to guide your perceptions and align them with higher principles. Through these practices, you will learn to see obstacles as opportunities, criticisms as lessons, and setbacks as transient and insignificant. This mastery of perception is key to living an undisturbed and fulfilling life. Practicing indifference allows us to focus on what truly matters, our inner virtue and rationality, while remaining unaffected by external circumstances. This state of mind is achieved through the disciplined application of Stoic principles, helping us to act as though nothing disturbs us. Indifference is rooted in the recognition that external events do not inherently affect our inner state. As Stoics, we distinguish between things that are within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, and those that are not, external events, the behavior of others and outcomes. By cultivating indifference towards the latter, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and maintain our peace of mind. Marcus says, "One of the greatest personal tragedies I faced was the death of my son, Commodus Antoninus. The loss of a child is a profound sorrow that could easily shatter one's emotional stability. Yet by practicing indifference, I focused on the natural order of life and the inevitability of death. I reminded myself that grief is a natural response, but it should not consume me. By accepting this loss as part of the human condition, I was able to continue fulfilling my duties as emperor with a composed mind. As emperor, I was constantly surrounded by political machinations and power struggles. Many sought to undermine my authority or gain favor through deceit. Instead of reacting with anger or suspicion, I practiced indifference. I recognized that the actions of others were beyond my control. My responsibility was to act justly and wisely, regardless of the dishonesty or ambition of others. This approach allowed me to navigate the complexities of politics without losing my integrity or peace of mind. To cultivate indifference, one must develop a mindset that prioritizes inner virtue over external circumstances. Here are some practical steps to achieve this. Regularly remind yourself that external events are beyond your control. Reflect on their transient nature and the insignificance they hold in the grand scheme of life. This reflection helps to detach your emotional responses from these events. Concentrate on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and character. Strive to act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in all situations. By prioritizing virtue, you reinforce the belief that external circumstances do not define your worth or happiness. Acceptance is a key component of indifference. Understand that life is unpredictable and that challenges are inevitable. Embrace these challenges as opportunities to practice resilience and virtue. By accepting the inevitability of difficulties, you reduce their power to disturb you. Detach yourself from the desire for specific outcomes. Focus on the process and your efforts rather than the results. By doing so, you free yourself from the anxiety and disappointment that often accompany unmet expectations. Engage in regular meditative practices to cultivate a calm and focused mind. Meditation helps to reinforce the principles of indifference by promoting mindfulness and self-awareness. Through meditation, you can develop a deeper understanding of your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to respond to disturbances with greater equanimity. Indifference helps to maintain emotional stability in the face of life's ups and downs. By not allowing external events to dictate your inner state, you experience fewer emotional fluctuations and greater overall peace. Indifference builds resilience by fostering a mindset that can withstand adversity. When you are indifferent to external disturbances, you are better equipped to handle challenges and setbacks with composure and strength. By prioritizing virtue and inner development, you shift your focus away from external validation and towards personal growth. This focus enhances your sense of purpose and fulfillment. Indifference can improve relationships by reducing reactivity and fostering understanding. When you are not easily disturbed by the actions of others, you can respond with greater empathy and patience. The benefits of this practice are profound, leading to greater emotional stability, resilience, personal growth, and improved relationships. Embrace indifference as a pathway to a serene and undisturbed existence, and you will find that nothing has the power to disturb you. Marcus says, "During my reign, the Antonine Plague ravaged the Roman Empire, claiming countless lives and causing widespread fear and despair. As emperor, I was deeply troubled by the suffering of my people. Yet I saw this adversity as a call to action. I organized relief efforts, established public health measures, and ensured that resources were distributed fairly. By focusing on what I could do to mitigate the impact of the plague, I found purpose and strength in the midst of a crisis." Adversity comes in many forms: personal loss, professional setbacks, health issues, and societal upheavals, to name a few. While we cannot control the occurrence of these adversities, we can control our response to them. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, focusing on our internal state and our reactions, rather than the external events themselves. In times of adversity, it is crucial to distinguish between what is within your control and what is not. Concentrate your efforts on what you can influence: your actions, thoughts, and responses. Let go of the rest, accepting that some things are beyond your power. Adversity tests your inner strength and resilience. By facing challenges with courage and determination, you build the mental and emotional fortitude needed to withstand future difficulties. Embrace adversity as an opportunity to develop this inner strength. The death of my beloved wife, Faustina, was one of the most profound personal adversities I faced. The sorrow was deep, yet I chose to honor her memory by continuing to live virtuously and fulfill my responsibilities. By embracing my grief and finding meaning in my loss, I was able to transform my pain into a source of inner strength. Even in the most painful situations, seek to find meaning and purpose. This search for meaning can transform suffering into a catalyst for personal growth and development. Reflect on how adversity can shape your values, beliefs, and actions for the better. Take time to reflect on past adversities and how you overcame them. Use these reflections to build confidence in your ability to face future challenges. Journaling can be a helpful tool in this practice. Engage in activities that build resilience, such as physical exercise, mindfulness practices, and mental challenges. Resilience training helps you to become more adaptable and capable of handling stress. Build and maintain strong support networks. Surround yourself with people who offer encouragement, advice, and empathy. Sharing your struggles and receiving support can make adversity more manageable. Adversity is an unavoidable aspect of life, but it is also a powerful catalyst for growth and resilience. By embracing adversity with a Stoic mindset, you transform challenges into opportunities for personal development. View adversity as a teacher, focus on what you can control, cultivate inner strength, maintain perspective, and find meaning in suffering. Use techniques such as resilience training, reflective practice, support networks, and gratitude to navigate difficult times. The benefits of embracing adversity are profound, leading to greater personal growth, enhanced resilience, deeper wisdom, and increased empathy. Adversity provides profound insights into life and human nature. These insights deepen your understanding and wisdom, enabling you to navigate life more effectively. By regularly facing and embracing adversity, you build resilience. This resilience equips you to handle future challenges with greater ease and confidence. For Marcus Aurelius, when dealing with issues of justice and law, it was essential to weigh evidence and consider the long-term consequences of my decisions. By relying on reason rather than personal bias or emotional reaction, HHE aimed to ensure fairness and stability within the empire. Spend time each day reflecting on your thoughts and actions. Consider whether they align with rational principles. This practice helps to identify irrational patterns and replace them with reasoned approaches. Engage with philosophical texts and teachings, particularly those of the Stoics. Understanding the principles of logic, ethics, and natural law will provide a strong foundation for rational thinking. Develop techniques for managing emotions. Practices such as deep breathing, mindfulness meditation, and cognitive behavioral strategies can help you maintain emotional balance and prevent irrational reactions. Hone your critical thinking skills by regularly challenging your assumptions and considering alternative perspectives. This practice strengthens your ability to analyze situations objectively and make reasoned decisions. Surround yourself with individuals who exemplify rationality and wisdom. Their guidance and example can help you cultivate a rational mindset. Rational decision-making involves gathering information, weighing options, and considering potential outcomes. For example, when planning military strategies, I analyze the strengths and weaknesses of both my forces and the enemy's. This logical approach allowed me to make informed decisions that minimized risks and maximized effectiveness. When faced with criticism, a rational approach involves evaluating the feedback objectively. Consider the source and substance of the criticism. Is it constructive? Does it provide an opportunity for improvement? By applying rationality, you can respond to criticism thoughtfully rather than react defensively. Friendships, too, benefited from a rational approach. Friendships, by their nature, are built on mutual respect and trust. However, they can also be tested by misunderstandings, differing opinions, and external pressures. I found that applying rationality to these relationships helped maintain harmony and mutual respect. When a friend acted in a way that seemed to betray our bond, instead of reacting with immediate hurt or anger, I took time to reflect. I considered the possible motivations and circumstances that might have influenced their actions. Often, this rational reflection revealed misunderstandings or external pressures that could be addressed through calm discussion rather than confrontation. Rationality helped me maintain perspective and make decisions that were in the best interest of the individuals involved and the greater good of the empire. Through the disciplined application of reason, I was able to act in a manner that upheld Stoic principles, ensuring that my actions were just, wise, and conducive to lasting peace and stability.